Okay, now we've got a question from Paul. Good question, Paul. Thanks for getting in touch and taking the time to come forward with this good question. W.Mullins, as we know, was this is Paul. W.Mullins was in unstoppable form at the Dublin Racing Festival at Leopardstown. Is it feasible for most of his winners to back up those performances this week, or have some of them left their Cheltenham chances back in Ireland? Well, Paul's obviously thinking of horses coming out relatively quickly after a hard race and whether they can replicate the form they showed on the first occasion. Well, horses are individuals. We don't know. Some can take it, some can't. We've seen this on many occasions with Mark Prescott's horses on the flat. For example, he's got a horse called Carabino at the moment who's strung together about 5 wins in 6 weeks. And there's a couple of other horses on the all-weather, but that's on the all-weather over a mile and a half. This is a different game over jumps. I think some horses will handle it, some won't. What are the facts? Well, the fact is that the Dublin Racing Festival took place on the 5th, 6th and 7th of February, which is 5 weeks away from the Tuesday of the first day of Cheltenham. Well, 5 weeks should be long enough for a horse to recover. It can take longer, it can take less, but there was an interesting point made by Paul Nicholls just recently, and it appears in the Racing Post on the Sunday before Cheltenham, which is when I'm talking, when Paul Nicholls said that he's taken horses from W.Mullins' yard, owned by Jared Sullivan and possibly a few others, the red colours, including Real Steel, horses like that, and one called Stormy Island. And he says, and this is an extraordinary thing for a trainer to say of Paul Nicholls' calibre, he's virtually waving the white flag and saying, I can't do what W.Mullins has done, because he's taken over these horses and he's disappointed that they're not adjusting to his regime, his training regime, and they're not managing to replicate the form that they showed for W.Mullins. Well, that's virtually saying that W.Mullins is a better trainer than me. Well, that's not the case. Paul Nicholls is a top-class trainer, one of the best we've ever had, and probably the equal, if not better than W.Mullins in certain respects. But Paul Nicholls is perfectly happy to wave the white flag and say, I can't do it. I can't achieve the level of ability that W.Mullins did. And so he sent this horse back, Stormy Island, and maybe others have gone, but Stormy Island he sent back to Willie and said, sorry, I can't do it. I'm not within 10 pounds of the form you've achieved. Now, what's this say about W.Mullins? W.Mullins is producing a level of tenacity and fitness in his horses that enable them to take another race in relatively quick succession? I don't know.